My name's Chad Westbrook, Communications Manager here, and I actually have a special guest, TJ Brooks. So the support department is actually joining me this morning in our Toolbox Talks. TJ, you here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Awesome. So what we're going to be doing today is going through operations a little bit more onto the contract side. If you remember last week, we went through takeoff, kind of showed you some of the features and benefits of quickly and efficiently using a web-based program to do your takeoff. Now, every time a capital project is put through a roof replacement, or even at this part, we can even push through multi-day repairs. We can push that through something called operations. It allows us to be able to create something that's called an OPM. It's online project monitoring, but also to distribute emails to our clients or anybody that you'd wish inside your company on the daily progress that takes place on that roof, which will include a percent complete bar, the photos that are necessary for the day's work, comments, a progress report, everything that your client needs to be able to stay up to date on what's happening with that roof replacement project. So as everybody joins in here, I want to let you know on the bottom right-hand side, you have a questions tab. Anytime throughout this entire webinar, please feel free to type questions in there. We will have an open platform at the end of this webinar that's going to allow you guys to be able to ask your questions. We'll dictate those and be able to help you the best we can to understand it. So I'm going to hand this over to TJ. He's going to kind of explain where we find the operations tabs, how we get there, and kind of work through. All right, TJ's having a little bit of problem with the mouse and stuff that's going through. So I'm gonna start off here, guys. First thing we're gonna do is we're always gonna live inside our contacts. This is obviously where we find our records. Anybody new is joining inside here. We're always going to be able to click on contacts to be able to view anything on our history or notes or activities that do with each client. So the first thing that I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna be able to walk through, and I'm gonna get us set up here. So as I go through, contacts is where we're going to be able to go through here. We will be able to search for these opportunities, obviously. But as we continue to work through, we're going to be able to pull up our contacts tab. So what's going to happen inside here once I pull up my contacts is I'm going to be able to walk through and choose what I like to be able to add this capital roof replacement. Now, if you've been doing work inside the past, obviously this would come as a quote. But as soon as you actually move this over to sold, you guys are going to be able to get something called a production tab. So diving in specifically to the property of my choice, I'm just going to choose store number 9 here to make it simple. I'm going to go to my opportunities, and you'll see that I have a few different opportunities inside here, nothing for a roof replacement. Now, again, like I said, and I'll show you real fast here, as I click on add opportunity, I'm going to be able to choose whatever my product is. And now your guys might look a little bit different because you guys dictate what these are. But ultimately, as far as your system setup, as soon as I move this to sold, a few different things change. I have an option to send to production, and I can do this through any product that I wish as long as it's set up inside my core. So even if I go to roof repair, I can push out a multi-day roof repair into production, track the daily progress of it, and that's with any of the products that we have, or that you guys have. So working through, I'm going to stick a roof replacement here. I'm going to click the box that says send to production. It's automatically going to allow me to be able to have a project ID. So I can make this anything that I wish. So if you guys have your own way of numbering these projects, you can do just that. And it works with both letters and numbers to be able to work through. If I have previously done a section here or an inspection, it allows me to be able to choose what section that is. And if I have any kind of previous estimate, I can even assign an estimate to it. Now, estimate is something that we're going to cover next week. So please join us. We'll be happy to go through it. But it allows you to be able to work with your takeoff and even assign your estimate ID if you're previously working with that. Your capital dollar amount for this roof replacement. So let's just say 300,000. Date, probability, and description can all be typed in right here. So I'm going to type in roof replacement. I'm simply going to add this new opportunity. As soon as I did this, what happened is I had a production tab that automatically populated right here. Now, as this tab populated, I'm simply going to click on this, and it's going to show me my project ID in the upper right-hand corner. So you'll be able to see I only have one of these. So you guys can have multiple production tabs or multiple production IDs running through this. So it's not just for capital work. You can also use it for any product. So I'm going to choose the one that I'd like. And I have a couple different options down here. The first one is Foreman, additional app users, and some project files. TJ, can you take us through setting up the Foreman, what it means for additional app users and how that affects them?
Absolutely. So let me go ahead and let me get in here and add a foreman. Whoever is going to be using the app, adding days of work, adding, things like photos of the roof as you do, replace and, take off pieces of the roof. You can give app access users. That would be users who are going to be up on the roof with them who you want to be able to access the roof. I'm just going to hand this over to Chad Serviceman as our foreman. and I'll go ahead and give app access user to, I guess, Phil.
Now, can you explain to us what it means when we have additional app users in there? Does that allow them access to it?
Yes, it actually does let them get into the app and view almost like the foreman can. The only difference is that an app access user cannot add days of work. He can view the days of work that has been put in by the foreman and even edit them, but he cannot add an additional day. All right, so I'm just going to get in here. I'm going to go ahead and put in our project start notification emails. This is when, the email notifications will start to go out to, your client if they're set up as a portal user, and also anyone in the office who you have set up to receive those notifications. So we'll just say today, and Chad, do we have a good example of a OPM report we could show them?
Of course we do. So when you guys select what days you want this to start, you guys can choose whether it's 7 days, 14, a month, whatever it is, however far you guys are scheduling ahead. These are when these emails are going to start. Now, every day this email is going to go out, and it's going to let them know that their project's going to begin in so many days or is scheduled to load. So I'm going to pull up a couple different ones here that you're going to be able to see. As I pull this up, you're going to be able to see an email that had went out, the project scheduled. You'll be able to see contact information, and even going through this, you'll see that they have the option to unsubscribe to the email if they do not want it, but also a drag and drop Gantt calendar that you guys establish and you guys control to be able to see each day of work. So as this goes out and as you guys are actually going through, you guys dictate what this is, and these emails are sent out automatically, your guys' logo, and letting them know that your project is scheduled to load in 4 days, 3 days, 2 days. So this is something that you guys control and automatically get distributed out to each one of your clients. So as we go back inside here, we have a few other features that I'll show you. Our in production, this allows you guys to be able to start and put an estimated finish date on how long this project is going to take. So as I click on my production start date here, I'm going to be able to choose the day of work that's going to start. Now this is going to dictate what that email above says. Your project is scheduled to load in 3 days, 2 days, whatever that might be, is all dictated by that project start date. So I'm going to choose the 4th of February here. I'm going to say it's going to run about a week, and I'm going to choose the 8th. So I have a 5-day work week here. Now my project square foot is automatically calculated by my inspection that I had previously done. So since I had chose that I'm doing the Payless store, that project square foot had already populated. I can simply hit update values and this will save. So this is saved specifically to this project ID. Now over here we have something that's somewhat new. We have moved to a cloud-based server. I'm sure you guys were involved inside the 3.0 update and all the features and benefits that you guys received from that. One of it is cloud access. So what this allows you to be able to do right here is view any type of project files, whether this is a permit, whether it's OSHA requirements, anything, safety requirements that you guys have to do specifically at that property, anything that you want to be able to put inside your technician or your foreman's hand to be able to have out into the field. He's going to be able to access this directly off of the application that I'm going to show you here shortly, but also be able to use this for anything that he needs inside the field. So by simply choosing browse, you guys can choose anything that you wish. I'm simply just going to add an image inside here. And to be able to name it, let's just name this test. And I have an option right here to include this file in the app. So if you guys want to be able to add this right here and not have it necessarily ready for your guys, but it's a project-specific document, you can add this inside here and not include it inside the application. So there's 2 ways to store these files. One is where your user, your foreman's going to have access to it. The second one is where he's not going to have access to it. You'll see as soon as I added it, it says test right here. I have the option to be able to email this if I need to email this document for any reasons. Very quick and very simple. I can also delete it and choose whether I want it in the app by a simple click of a button. All these project files are specific to this project ID. They are housed inside the cloud and they're available to you guys 24/7 inside the application, but also obviously inside the core. So as I scroll down, I've assigned this to a foreman. What's happened right now is as I pull up my device, which I will right now, I'm going to be able to access this from my iPad. So the first thing that I'm going to be able to do, and you guys should be able to see the iPad in the middle of the screen, I'm mirroring it right now. I'm going to click on Manage Projects. As I do this, my application is going to load all of the projects that are assigned specifically to me. So if I have multiple projects in there, which you see I do, they're all going to load right here. So you can have one foreman assigned to multiple different projects at the same time, and he can access all of those, add days of work as needed to be able to get through. So what I'm going to do, I'm on distribution center number 9 right here, the bottom one. I'm simply just going to click on it. you'll see that it shows me my percent complete, my start and finish date, the square foot, and even the produced square foot that's in here. Now, as I click on the left-hand side, the cloud right here, you're going to be able to see that I have that test file right there. That's the same thing that I added below for us to be able to do it. By simply choosing open will allow me to be able to open that. So whether it's a PDF, whether it's a JPEG, a PNG, any kind of file that you upload inside there is going to be available out inside the field. So again, whether it's a OSHA requirement, whether it's a permit, anything that your guys may need out in the field, they can simply access that. So out inside the field, the day of work's taking place. You guys are going to be able to click add a day. Very simple concept. It shows the day of work that was performed inside there. It will default to today's date, and also show you the amount removed and amount replaced. So you guys type these numbers in on whatever was done for the day. So let's just say it was 1,500 square foot, 15 squares. Let's hope that we put 15 squares and sealed everything back up. And any comments for this day. So you guys, again, inside the field can use dictation if you guys do have one of the newer iPads to be able to fill this out. The crew showed up at 7:30 a.m. We did find 3 squares of wet insulation, which was removed and replaced. Everything was sealed up for the day's work for the upcoming rain that's heading in tomorrow. So these are notes that are specifically from your foreman that goes into this project. So whatever it might be, short, long, you guys can also edit this back inside the core if you need to, but a simple way for you guys to be able to access this and to be able to work through. Now, this did a somewhat good job of going through here and to be able to dictate this. So I'm going to leave that where it is. I'm simply going to hit submit. You'll see it says uploading. So again, everything works in real time. And on the upper right-hand side, you'll see that I have something called photos. Photos is pretty simple. As you guys are detailing this day of work, and I'll show you, you can come back and edit this, but you guys can take photos as the day goes on. So the same way that you guys are using digital cameras or whatever it is right now out inside the field, simply choose photo library, and you guys can upload any photos that are actually happening out there. So if you guys have that, put it in there. You can put a description. So maybe it's West overview. Of whatever it is. As you guys take up the installation, wet installation, change orders, whatever it may be, you guys will be able to dictate that. Now, I did press submit. I do have a choice to edit this if I wish, but simply heading back is going to allow me to be able to see all photos. These are done one by one, so again, I can choose from my photo library and choose any photo that I need, or again, if I am out into the field, simply take the photos and to be able to go. So let's just name this East, submit, and there is no maximum amount of photos that you guys can put inside here. So as many as you guys need to be able to dictate this. So as I'm adding photos throughout the day, obviously I can do this on an iPhone or an iPad or any iOS device. I can come back and it'll also allow me to be able to see my project day's work. I can edit this if I wish. If not, I can simply head back. It'll show me that day of work that's put in there, and you'll see inside real time this is already updated. My produced square foot, since I tagged in 1,500 square feet, shows 1,500. That puts me at 5.7% complete, and I'll also know my project start and finish dates based upon how it was assigned. So you guys will be able to dictate and kind of understand a little bit more how far you guys are in the project. Obviously, this today's work is not going to be enough to finish on time inside 1 week. So you guys are going to be able to access this all from the field. Your foreman's going to be able to add a day of work, and this is automatically going to, inside real time, process and create your report right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit this production tab one more time. It's going to refresh this. And as you come down, this has also been updated in real time. My percent complete, 5.7, the same thing that the app was telling me allows me to be able to access this. So what I can see right here, day of work, going through, I can also see my photos. There's 2 photos, and I can view this if I need to. So as I click on view, this is automatically going to pull up my OPM report. This is pretty much what it's going to look like. I'll also show you inside email format what it looks like, but it gives you your overview, any sections that you guys have, shows your project manager, the day of work. Your project is substantially be completed in 9 days. That is all dictated by when I set this up. So when I set this up and say it's going to complete on the 8th, it's 9 days from right now. You have a percent complete bar right here, which is 5.7%. Also lets them know that obviously it can be impacted by weather or delays beyond your control. So not a hard set, but also let you know it's percent complete so he can better understand where the project is. My comments that I typed in here are all going to display right here. So if anything needs to be changed or edited, that can be done. And also the 2 photos that I uploaded. So you guys are seeing a preview right here of the email that's going to be sent out. One other thing that we do have on the right-hand side right here is your current progress report. This is key and this is gold, especially when you have a very large, let's just say 30-day roof replacement project going on. because they're going to be able to see each day of work that happens. So you're going to be able to see the 31st. At any time, they can click on this day, and this will give them a progress report of what happened. This will be logged inside of their client portal, so they'll be able to access this at any time. They can view this day of work and to be able to understand each day of work that went on and what happened along with what actually took place on that day. So this email is very informative, allows them to be able to capture the information that they need, and works great for facility and property managers to be able to better understand not only their projects, but any of their tenants or any work that they may have going on with you. So this allows you to be able to go through. Now, one other feature that we do have here is the ability to be able to do this on your own. You guys don't have to do this out inside. If you guys, for example, if your foremans don't have iPhones or anything like that, you guys can add this day of work simply inside the office. As I scroll down here, you'll see my day of work. I also have add a day. When I click add a day, this will automatically allow me to be able to enter the same information that would have been captured out inside the field. So my day of work, let's just put this in as tomorrow. Amount removed. So let's say, let's just do it again. I know we're not staying on track to complete this. And then whatever comments you guys may have. This is a test, and I'm simply going to hit continue to photos. Now, right here, this is a simple drag and drop feature for you guys to be able to upload multiple photos at one time. So as I come in here, I'm simply going to be able to select every one of these photos that I have, click open, and you'll see literally in seconds these photos are uploaded. And as I scroll down, pretty much as fast as I can scroll down, these are automatically going to be uploaded and housed for your daily project report. I can refresh these uploaded images, and this will automatically dictate, and give it one sec here, and this will refresh all of these images so I can be able to see these. So here you go. I can enter descriptions if I need to. Got my drain, any of my overviews, whatever may have happened on that day. These photos literally uploaded in seconds will all be distributed in my day of work and be able to be dictated right from there. So once my photos are uploaded, this has added my day of work for what I need, and simply heading back into the production tab will again show me that day of work that was completed inside there and to be able to work through. Now by clicking on view, I can also see the same exact report, which is created again for the day of work, which was the first, tomorrow. Scroll down, I can see everything that was dictated throughout this and to be able to work all the way through. So you guys have the ability to be able to add a day of work both inside the office, but also add it out inside the field utilizing the app. Now, one other feature that we do have that you guys are probably used to seeing inside a sales motion is your calendar. We can pull up our calendar at any point and we can be able to view a sales, but you will notice that this is a drop down. I can go into a sales Gantt calendar, dispatch operations, depending on what you guys have. But as I click on operations, this is going to pull up a Gantt calendar that's a simple drag and drop of any project that I have going on. So again, you'll be able to see as I scroll across, I can view 3 months in advance. And if I have any projects such as this one right here, and this will be per foreman that you have. So if I had multiple foremans, this would show multiple foremans down here with the jobs underneath him. So it will separate that so you guys can sort that. But for example, I can simply see what days or what projects are scheduled. And if anything's not correct, if something's on top of another, I can simply drag and drop to where this needs to be. And when I do that, this not only updates on this calendar, it updates when my emails are going to be sent out. It updates for anything that's going to be, ensures that I don't have a day of work or a blank day. It allows me to be able to efficiently schedule. So as I go through, I'm going to be able to simply drag and drop these over here. And as I drag and drop, this is going to automatically update and allow me to be able to efficiently schedule. So I will show you in one sec. This is going to refresh for me. And as this refreshes, it's automatically going to allow me to be able to see those updated dates for when I change this. My client's going to know because my OPMs are going to send out and say it's, you know, your project is scheduled to load in 7 days or whatever it might to be able to keep him up to date. So it's always important to understand it's not necessary to send your OPMs out a month in advance. When you guys are confident and when you guys as a company bolt down your schedule to know 7 days in advance or 14 or whatever it might be, my schedule's hard set, that's when your emails should start going out. So these emails get distributed automatically each night at 6 p.m. once work has taken place, and even before that when you guys choose to be able to work through. It'll utilize your company logo, so everything that you have will be sent out, branded by you guys, and even come from you guys based upon your operation settings. So if you want it to come from info at FCS Control, be more than happy to distribute those for you guys. So what I'm going to do now is I went through most of operations. This is part of contract. I'm going to open the floor for a few questions here. So what I'm going to do is give you guys a couple. I know I got a few questions inside here. I'm going to get rolling. But on the lower right-hand side, there's a questions tab. I'd be happy to go through any of those.
All right, so first question here we have, how do you set up who is going to receive those daily reports? And that is also, that's dictated by, portal users. So if you have any portal users in there, don't necessarily have to give them access to the client portal, but you do have to check off that they will receive those OPM reports. So I'm just going to go back into contacts here and we'll get into portal users.
Here, what this is going to allow you to do is when you have portal users, you're going to be able to add them in there. And then as you set your portal users up, it's going to ask you if you'd like them to be able to receive service dispatch emails and then operations emails. If you check that box where it asks you for operations users, it's automatically going to include these inside these OPMs. Also inside your guys' toolbox in your admin settings, it's going to allow you guys to be able to dictate if anyone inside your company is going to receive these OPMs. So even if they're in the service division or whatever it is, you can choose anybody that's an active user in FCS to be able to receive these OPMs each day. So if you have someone that wants to review it, such as a boss or manager, that would be great to be able to include them in it as well. I do have one question that came across here. These emails go out daily. Is there any way to change it to say weekly? There's not. This is a daily progress report. And what this allows you to be able to do is once the time starts getting close to be able to go through here. If you are looking for something that's weekly, you can do that. My suggestion to you is to be able to do your OPMs once a week. And when the progress report has actually gone through, that's something that we can probably help you out a little bit here in the office. So if you have any questions about that, definitely give us a call after this.
Be produced as a PDF, and yes, it can. It's actually sent. That progress report is a PDF. A lot like all the other PDFs that are hosted from our site. It goes into a web page when it's been opened. So rather than sending out a huge PDF that's going to be too large to be opened or too large to be sent, it sends it into a web page format that can then be saved into a PDF.
All right, so I got another question here that's asking, how will this report work for a new construction project? For example, with membrane, standing seam, coping, gutters, and all that stuff. You can do it one of two ways. It's completely up to you guys, and you guys dictate the information that's inside here. So you'll be able to see amount removed and amount replaced. If it's a new construction, you still have your amount produced and what's inside there. So again, and you guys control what your products are. So if you want to push out a specific, let's just say OPM for just gutter job, it's a multi-day gutter job. You guys can do that. Simply make a product for gutters, and then you guys will be able to have the option to push that to operations as well. So you guys dictate ultimately what these emails look like, what they go out, what they say. It's just a simple automated way for you guys to be able to do this without having to come back to the office every night and working on Microsoft Word to get the PDF up and going. All right, next question inside here. Is there a limit to the characters in the photo description? There's not. You guys can put inside here, I'm just going to let you know for practical purposes and for viewing purposes, the description inside there for each photo is not made for 3 or 4 paragraphs inside here. We would typically suggest that you would put that inside your comments. So as you go through, for your photos, a basic overview, maybe it may be, improper drain installed, working through for whatever you guys might have, you can put that in there. But typically, the main part or the main body of this email is going to be inside comments. I got a question inside here about loading pics from a camera to the cloud, not just from an iPhone or iPad. It really depends on where you're at. A little bit more specifics inside there. Everything that you guys have and everything that you're seeing on my screen right here, this is all web-based. So you guys can do this from a Windows Surface tablet, a Droid, whatever it is. The only thing that you have to use an iOS device for with FCS is the actual FCS Connect application. So ultimately, depending on your camera, a typical internet or Wi-Fi capable camera, I'm probably going to say no. You still have to access FCS. It's obviously a secure network where you guys get all your information and keep it. So you still have to log in to be able to access that. So again, it's web-based, so you can access it from any tablet, any computer, Mac, PC, whatever it might be. But ultimately, the cloud is project and even company and property specific. So you guys would have to detail that. Is there any way to get a print capability? There is, and actually what happens every day that an OPM goes out, it actually stamps inside your notes. So as you guys are going through your contacts, every day that a project is actually scheduled to go out, you guys will have that in your notes. So you'll be able to see each day that goes out, even for capital projects or whatever it might be. So again, that's a great feature of the core is to be able to keep a complete historical record and to be able to keep those attachments. So if you want to be able to print that, you can print that directly from your notes tab. tab, and it'll be attached inside there as an attachment that'll say daily progress rework, and then again timestamped for that day. I got another great question, and we're going to be able to dive into it over the next couple weeks. Is percent complete all based upon square foot? Yes, it is the simple way to explain that. As we came out with contract, we introduced something that's called FCS time. That allows you guys to be able to punch in and punch out, whether it's per service man or per service crew. So, for example, if you have a crew of 4 guys out there, they'll be able to punch in by this job number or project ID, and you guys will not only be able to track your percent complete based upon square footage, but percent complete based upon labor hours. There's one thing inside the OPM that I didn't dive into, which was labor reported. So not only will you guys be able to see that you're 75% done inside your square foot, but you'll also know that you're 85% of what your estimated labor hours are. Now that ties in very closely with the estimate program. Will also allow you guys to be able to understand both sides. Are you over on your hours? Are you going below budget? For you guys to better understand where your laborers are coming in, if there's any change orders, obviously, and how those two match up. So you will be able to base that not only on square foot, but also on labor reported if you guys are a user of FCS time. Next question, does there have to be an estimate in the core to be able to send to production? Absolutely not. That is just a feature that you guys can utilize. If you guys do not have estimate or are not using the estimate program that we offer, it just simply won't come up as a box. If it is enabled, it'll ask you to be able to assign an estimate to it, and that's for you guys just to be able to better understand and to be able to assign. Again, if that estimate was automatically tied to it, it would have automatically filled in what my estimated number and sold number was based upon that estimate. The Gantt calendar, I got a couple questions about the Gantt calendar right here. The Gantt calendar is actually populated based upon your project start and finish date. So when you had originally typed those in when I was setting that up, that's what populates this right here. So if I was set up for Thursday right here through Monday, this is where it would automatically populate, assign that color, and then the drag and drop, if you guys do choose to do that, is simply just editing that. Operations is a very simple feature to be able to use. The mobile application allows you guys to be able to capture the information in the field. Again, everything with FCS utilizes real time to be able to work it and does it out of one central cloud-based core. So a great way for you guys to be able to add a capital side. And as we kind of roll out over the next weeks here with the contract side, you guys will notice that not only takeoff or operations, takeoff, estimate, and even time all work very, very closely together, not only with your OPM reports, but also tying your project to be complete and to be able to work through the entire life cycle of the systems and tools that we offer. So I don't have any other questions here, guys. I hope I did a great job of explaining operations and you guys enjoyed it. If you don't have operations, give us a call at the office. We'd be more than happy to talk to you about getting it up and going in your core. If you do, contact us anytime at the office if you have questions. TJ's up 24 hours a day. Actually replaced Will's phone, and will actually take calls even at 3 a.m. So he'll be happy to rock that out, guys. So give us a call if you guys have any questions. I want to thank you. This has been Toolbox Talks. Again, my name's Chad Westbrook, Communications Manager. I had the great honor of sitting next to TJ here, support.
Thanks, guys.
And I want to thank you guys. Next week we will be having another Toolbox Talks, walking through the contract side of things. And I want to thank you. Have a good one, guys.